This is the Government Week in Review for the week ending Friday, March 1st. I am Rikisha St. Louis. In the headlines, Ministry of Education says no more fees for lunch in schools, and the resurfaced Kirani James Athletic Stadium is blessed and ready for use. We'll have details to this story and more after the break.
Get ready to witness the ultimate showcase of talent, speed, and determination at the 2024 CARICOM Games. This prestigious event brings together the best young athletes from across the Caribbean, competing for glory like never before. With the motto, many people, one region, celebrating athletics, CARICOM embodies the essence of Caribbean unity through sports, igniting a flame that illuminates the future of sports in the region. Don't miss out on this incredible event taking place at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium from Saturday 30th March to Monday 1st April 2024. Get your tickets now at Grenadian Optical or visit gotofed.com and secure your spot to be part of this extraordinary celebration of athleticism.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell says CARICOM heads have made significant progress in addressing several pertinent issues affecting member countries at the just concluded 46th regular meeting of the conference in Guyana. The leaders discussed the humanitarian and security situation in Haiti, plans for the upcoming T20 Cricket World Cup, launching a campaign to tackle crime and violence, food and energy security, among others. The meeting, which ended February 28th, was convened under the chairmanship of President Dr. Irfan Ali. Prime Minister Mitchell, who will assume chairmanship and host the upcoming meeting in July, outlined some of the decisions taken at the meeting. He was speaking to a representative from the Department of Public Information in Guyana.
Making advances in relation to the CSME and particularly free movement of our nationals to the Haiti situation. That took up a significant portion of the initial time. I think the press conference will be held shortly, as well as the closing ceremony. And so I don't want to preempt what Dr. Ali is going to say on that, but I think we feel we've made some progress. The intention is really to seize the moment and proceed with it. We have, again, agreed to confer on Sir Clive Lloyd, CARICOM's highest award for his outstanding contribution to cricket and in particular leadership in cricket and leadership in the region. The issue of crime, violence, public safety. As you may be aware, we had met last year in Trinidad and declared crime and violence a public health issue. There are a number of initiatives that we want to take, but crucially we want to pay a lot of attention to our young people and how we can use the creative economy, the entertainment economy, sports to be able to really mount a campaign that ensures that we don't promote antisocial behavior, we don't promote gun violence, we don't promote violence in general, to really start addressing some of those issues. So it was wide-ranging. We had the opportunity to meet in Deep Caucus, where heads were able to talk frankly on some of the issues, and I think we've made significant progress, and we look forward to continuing to work on those issues in the coming months.
Government fulfills promise to remove all fees for the Ministry of Education Support School Feeding Program. Students are no longer required to pay for lunch at schools following the directives from the Ministry of Education last week. The announcement of the change was first made by Minister for Finance, Honorable Dennis Cornwall, during the presentation of the 2024 budget in December. Minister for Education, Senator the Honorable David Andrew, said the ministry will continue to provide support to schools in the form of dry goods and meat, and will subsidize the cost of other items needed to ensure students can be fed daily nutritious meals.
We are aware that in some cases, some schools collected and used that fund to supplement probably dry goods stuff or something that they may particularly need. And we instructed our officers to verify the data, collect the data, the feeding numbers within the last month, to ensure that when we remove the $1 that they were in the habit of collecting, that we were going to be able to subsidize them to that extent. So we took that period to do that, and we are quite comfortable that we've collected the data. The officers have produced the information, so we know the extent to which the school would experience some degree of loss without collecting the $2, or in the case of secondary schools, the $3. And so we are going to adjust the subventions to schools to that extent. Not only have we done that, but we've gone ahead with the Accountant General to establish accounts, school feeding accounts for those schools. So all of this background information had to be put in place. It's now in place, and schools have been officially instructed and informed through the Office of the Chief Education Officer to engage with immediate effect the policy direction redecharge.
Pearson Stroud, Director of Student Support Services within the ministry, said all schools are expected to comply with the policy directives of the ministry. He said ministry officials met recently with the Principals Association.
We've recently been able to have a meeting with them to get an idea as to, you've heard this is the case, we've sent a circular out to you, you have to do what, of course, government has given us a policy document, we have to follow. And, but yet still now, how does it make sense? How is it going to really work for you? Tell us. And so we've gotten back from them some very, very, very pertinent. We thank the principals for giving us, some things that we have to really make sure that we do properly, so that we could do this in the best way as possible. So we've had to make sure that, yes, we have to implement government's policy, but we wanted to do it in the best way possible so that that is done properly, especially for our students, because our students have to be at the center of everything that we do, and we have to make sure that we do it properly so that they are not the ones who, because we make a mistake, because we're trying to do something so quickly, that they are the ones who end up losing out. The other aspect, I think, that in terms of, I wouldn't say in terms of a challenge per se, is that we have to make sure that governments is going to then be putting monies back into schools to make sure that the schools could do the same petty cash and getting those other things that we would not necessarily provide for them.
Minister Andrews said in the upcoming weeks, the ministry will rebrand the school feeding program to be named Healthy Start Nutrition Program, which will see huge improvements to the existing structure.
It's more than just feeding. It's about nutrition. And we have high incidences of childhood obesity in our schools. So we want to have a holistic program, and some of the key tenets of that rebranding will be including various elements of physical activity and other special areas of focus and awareness. So there might be a stronger focus on water days, food days, activity days within the school that will be sent as official notifications from the Office of the Chief Education Officer. Additionally, there's going to be a stronger focus on collaborating with farmers, local poultry producers, to ensure that the quality of our produce that we use in the school feeding program comes from, the quality is good, and then it comes from local suppliers, farmers and poultry producers, and fisher folk and that kind of stuff. So we'll be guaranteed better quality and a holistic, more nutritional output with that rebranding.
Hundreds of students benefit daily from the ministry's support program at both the primary and secondary levels. Tuesday's sod turning at the National Cricket Stadium marked the beginning of the renovation works to be undertaken. In 2022, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the People's Republic of China and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. Renovation works include repairs of the broken wall and tiles, replacing of LED screens, sound systems, supporting systems, and elevator replacements. Ambassador Wei Hongsheng, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Grenada, highlighted the importance of maintaining the facility.
It's important that to keep this biggest sports facility intact for holding such grand events. Of course, there will be a lot of sports activity here, a lot of domestic and international sports competition here. Safety is the most important. So this is very big facility and a very unique facility. So as Shanghai Baoye is implementing the renovation project, I encourage you to make the priority of safety. Make safety as priority. So it's very important to make sure everything goes smoothly and every step is safe because human lives are precious.
He assured that China stands committed to further enhancing the diplomatic ties between the two countries, which were formally established in January 2005.
I assure you that China will remain as a good partner, a good friend of Grenada. And China committed to continue its support to Grenada. Over the years, we have achieved, I'm sure, and I think you agree with me, we have achieved a lot. The relation between China and Grenada is very cordial. The practical cooperation between the two countries are fruitful, and the mutual understanding between the two people is enhanced.
Acting Prime Minister Honorable Andy Williams is pleased to see the commencement of work which will boost the staging of international games in 2025.
When something like this is being done, like this renovation, it brings joy to my heart, and I know that Grenada, as a country, we appreciate this. Ambassador, I would like to say thank you. And also to say that China have not just, expressed words, but you always come to our side. You always back your words by action. And not just in this project, but I can speak about many other projects that you have been involved in, that your country has been involved in, that provides benefit to the people of Grenada, CARICOM, and PD Martinique.
Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette, Minister for Sport and Youth, said the development of our sporting facilities complements the development and success of the country's athletes.
The development of sports, as well as the development of our sporting personalities, cannot be realized unless we also develop our sporting facilities. As a result, the investment that we must make in the development of our sporting facilities is simultaneously equated to the development of our sporting personalities. And as a government, we are extremely serious about our youth and sports. And as a result of that, we have taken this opportunity to partner once again with the People's Republic of China.
This is the Week in Review. When we return, newly resurfaced athletic stadium ready for use.
The Department of Public Administration extends an invitation to a public consultation on the new public service pension plan on Monday, March 4th, 10 a.m. at the VIP room at Kirani James Athletic Stadium for statutory bodies and at 2 p.m. for public officers. Also on March 4th, a consultation for the general public will be held at the St. Andrew Methodist Church beginning at 6 p.m. The new pension plan public consultation continues on Tuesday, March 5th, 11:30 a.m. at the Petit Martinique office for the general public and at 4:30 p.m. at the Hillsborough Government School. Consultation continues Wednesday, March 6th for the private sector, 10 a.m. at the GIDC conference room, public officers at 2 p.m. in a virtual setting, and the general public 6 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center Annex. For more information, please contact the Department of Public Administration on 440-3767.
Welcome back. The newly resurfaced and marked Kirani James Athletic Stadium main track has been blessed and is ready for use. The stadium will be buzzing with activities this weekend with the Horizon National Championships, where various schools and clubs will compete. Karine Maureen Alexander gives highlights of the handover ceremony and blessing of the track on Friday.
We thank you, Lord God, that today we can stand as proud Grenadians because you have been good to us. And today, God, as we dedicate and present this track before you, we ask, God, that you will bless it, bless the stadium. Lord, we pray that this stadium will be protected by you, Lord, covered by you. Lord, we ask that everything necessary for maintenance and upkeep you will provide. God, bless the company that laid these tracks. We ask that, God, our athletes, as they perform, God, that they will have keen competition. Lord, we come against accidents and injuries and damage to their bodies. God, we pray that they will be safe on these tracks. We ask, God, that you will continue to bless, Lord God, their endeavors as they pursue athletic excellence, that this will be a breeding ground for excellence in the world, not just in Grenada.
Minister for Youth and Sports, Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette, commended the team who worked diligently to bring this project to fruition, noting the importance sports plays in the development of the youth. He is anticipating Grenada's hosting of the 51st CARICOM Games later this month.
We cannot emphasize enough the importance of sports in the development of our youth, especially from a leadership perspective, from a social cohesion perspective, and from a team building perspective. It teaches our youth so many different things and enables them to be well-rounded individuals at the end of the day. So we are particularly pleased that we have arrived at this completion juncture of the 400-meter track, and that come March 30th, 31st, and the 1st of April, we are looking forward to have an excellent and thrilling CARICOM 2024. I especially want to say thank you to all of the individuals whose hands were on deck to ensure that the completion of the 400 track comes into fruition.
The resurfacing of the track was done by Benon Sports of Maryland, USA, which has over 50 years of experience in laying and resurfacing indoor and outdoor tracks all over the world. Coordinator of Sports in the Ministry of Sports, Colin Peters, says this new track would motivate and inspire athletes to do well. He gave an overview of the project.
The project took about 6 weeks to do the 400 meters track. It's basically it's embedded metal where they didn't remove the previous track. They enhanced it enhance what was there by applying the surface, which they seal the previous surface and apply this lovely and colorful, I want to say colorful, but lovely finish that we have here right now. The embedded system metal is one that strengthens the previous track, so definitely one will ask if it will be stronger. It's much stronger than the previous track that was there. The metal that apply makes sure that it's stronger and it's more durable in the sense that they both offer maintenance-free track, but with everything most maintenance is possible. They have a warranty of between 5 and 10 years if it's properly used.
The blessing of the Kirani James Athletic Stadium track was also attended by decathlon athlete Kurt Felix. He says the new track is a good look for Grenada and looks forward to the upcoming meets to be held at the stadium, and also to do some training.
It looks really good. It would be a pleasure to start watching games like the CARICOM games here and Intercall where the track is not looking dark, you know. Grenada is a beautiful place and having the track exhibit that is really good, you know. So I'm looking forward to that.
So are you looking forward to running on it as well?
Of course, I just asked if I can come and do a workout.
Jonathan Alexander of Wesley College and Egypt Benjamin of Anglican High School, both athletes, are also looking forward to running on the new track.
The new track is very pleasant. It feels much more better than the old track. It feels more bouncy and easier to run on.
The new track feels better. The bounciness of the track is obviously going to help us in running for Intercall, the Anglican High School, and praying that when we come here to run, it's going to make us run faster times because of the bounciness is going to help with our acceleration.
I am Karen Maureen Alexander reporting.
Continuing the news, the Ministry of Health has embraced 2 major projects that go hand in hand with government's expansion plans for the island's health services. The projects are the CDB-EIB-funded Health Sector Strengthening Project, launched last Friday, and the OECS Regional Health Project. 52 million EC dollars has been earmarked for both projects. The projects include upgrade and refurbishment of key facilities, medical stations and health centers, as well as the purchase and installation of new laundry equipment, as well as training for staff. Minister for Health, Honorable Philip Telesford, shared more on the projects during a media brief on Wednesday.
We intend to ensure that these projects are well administered and implemented within the time frame. If we can make these projects happen, it will really significantly transform the health service sector.
One of the components of the regional project is improved health facilities and laboratory capacity, and pivotal about this aspect is upgraded laboratory accreditation.
We need to transition from where we are to 21st century laboratory capabilities. And so we'll be moving towards accreditation, Tier 1 accreditation of our laboratory facilities. Presently, we have a problem with the AC unit in the phase 2 building, that's a new building, and so we cannot properly transition. And one is might be wondering why we were not transitioning. That is something that is key. So that was drawn to our attention, and as management, we've taken a firm decision to, for the time being, we are going to purchase new standalone units for the system so that we can begin to move in and properly occupy the laboratory facilities in the new building.
Minister Telesford says the hope is that within the next 12 months, the ministry will be well advanced in securing accreditation for the laboratory.
We are moving immediately, I must add, we're moving immediately to the procurement of equipment and getting the building environment ready to receive and operate. So some work has been done there already. Quite a lot has been done. One of the challenges we have right now is the air conditioning unit, as previously stated.
Minister for Climate Resilience and the Environment, Honorable Karen James, calls for small island developing states to have better access to finances to enhance their efforts to address the environmental and climate issues they face. She made the call during the 6th session of the United Nations Environment Assembly in Nairobi, Kenya.
Critical to our strategy is financing. With Grenada advocating for better access to funds for SIDS, we commend the replenishment of the GEF and stress the importance of global resource mobilization. We call for support in building national capacities, for greater access to grant financing and implementing key environmental agreements. We also acknowledge the importance of leveraging financing to establish novel and synergistic public-private partnerships. We spotlight our partnership with St. George's University and the Windward Islands Research and Education Foundation as exemplary hosting models of environmental cooperation.
Grenada, according to Minister James, remains committed to sustainability with its local approach toward integrating climate, marine, and chemical frameworks to ensure a comprehensive effort.
As a small island developing state, the severe effects of these crises, such as the intensified hurricanes and endangered marine ecosystems, are at the forefront of our concerns. We have committed to sustainability, tackling plastic pollution, boosting climate resilience, and safeguarding biodiversity. Our actions underscore our dedication to multilateralism and the goals of the UN Resolution 5 of 14, particularly towards a comprehensive plastics treaty sensitive to SIDS needs. Grenada looks forward to the important 4th International Conference on SIDS held in Antigua and Barbuda in May this year. This meeting is critical to cement the globe's collective pledges towards actioning their sustainability and resilience commitments for small island nations through progressive, strategic, and unified multilateralism.
The 6th UN session was held from February 26 to March 1st at the Environment Assembly headquarters in Kenya. The Planning and Development Authority, together with its stakeholders, are continuing their comprehensive demolition drive to remove illegal structures along the nation's roads. The initiative gears towards creating a safer and healthier environment by the removal of structures erected without proper authorization. GIS joined the authority this week for its awareness drive at Laborie Junction.
We are concerned that our country can fall into just a ghetto type thing. We pride ourselves in being pure Grenada. We pride ourselves in having a country that we can be proud of. We have visitors come to our shore and every day talk about what a beautiful place Grenada is. And we just want to maintain that. And the thing about it is as if this has gone viral.
Janice Leslie, Chief Administrative Officer at the Planning and Development Authority. Leslie said the construction of any structure requires permission from the Planning Authority. According to her, the drive will continue throughout various communities.
Planning permission is required for any structure, whether it's a wall you're building, a back wall, a fence, a drain you're constructing. It is necessary to seek planning permission. Some people are still kind of in the dark as to whether it's only for houses. No, it's for everything. Every structure that you're constructing requires planning permission. And so therefore, once you seek that permission, we are going to give all of the information. We're going to advise you on setbacks. We're going to advise you on the conditions to make it legal to construct or to place something to do business from. This drive continues for as long as it have to. We're starting in the south and some areas of St. David. We've earmarked some places, but we give people final notices. So we never just show up and say we're breaking today. You will be given a final notice telling you the date and time, as in this case, that the demolition will continue. And we have police security, we have all of that. So once you get that letter, believe you me, in the past, people have ignored, they saw it as bluffing and stuff like that, but we are serious. And the media was invited here, not to make a laughing stock of violators, but to just send a powerful message for the persons who may intend to set up such a structure without planning permission, or for those who have such structures existing and they know it's in violation, but they're just hoping that they won't be on the list or that things might change. It's not going to change. We're coming. We're going to be moving these things. They will be stored securely. You will have a short amount of time to take it from where it's at. We're not about destroying people's things unless it's garbage, of course. And so, yeah, so we're just hoping that the community will support this initiative. It's not personal, it's for the good of our community, of our country. We're just hoping that the community will be very supportive of the demolition drive. We do understand that because of the sensitivity of this, that there will be some pushback. We expect that. It's people's bread and butter. But we have to look at the greater good for our community. We want people to start thinking more creatively. Every business venture doesn't have to be on the side of the road. People have spots they can lease, they can rent, they can use places that they currently own. Just get the planning permission. And you will be surprised that once you create an experience for people, they would be happy to come wherever the restaurant is. We like hideaway, That's one of the things we like in Grenada. We like privacy, we like hideaway, we like to go where we can find a great experience. So today, like I say, there is going to be a lot of pushback, but we believe that we are doing the right thing and we are going to continue to do the right thing.
For any inquiries related to the demolition drive, affected parties are advised to contact the Planning and Development Authority for guidance. We take our final break. When we come back, you'll hear more about Grenada's plans to observe International Women's Day on March 8th.
I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP. I'm protected. I'm a VIP. Make us all VIPs. Take your vaccine, get immunized and protected. Kids, let's build our immunity to have a healthier society. I'm vaccinated. I'm immunized and I'm protected. Get vaccinated. For we the children's future, protect this spice together. Let's all be VIPs. VIP champions.
A message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Be a VIP Childhood Vaccination and Immunization Campaign in collaboration with UNICEF and the Pan American Health Organization.
Welcome back. Grenada will join the rest of the world in observing International Women's Day on March 8th, guided by the local theme, Count Her In, Inspire Inclusion, with a number of scheduled activities geared at celebrating and encouraging women. Chrissy Warm-Charles, Director of Social Development at the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, says all plans are in place to ensure that International Women's Day is celebrated.
We want to recognize the women who would have labored a lot in our country, and women who really and truly are so very resilient, right? And we have to pay homage to them in a significant way.
A symposium featuring guest speaker Professor Eugene Barreto will be one of the key activities scheduled for March 8th at Radisson, where over 400 women are expected to attend. The symposium, which promises to be inspiring, will be held under the slogan River Stone Talk.
We have lined up our keynote speaker, our very own Professor Eugene Barreto, who will be touching on issues as to her climb to the hill. She'll be delving into a lot of her experiences and bringing it to our audience, so at least we can understand the steps that she took to where she is. She's a celebrated Grenadian woman. She's a woman of the soil, and we are very proud to have her as our keynote speaker. We would also have awardees. We'll be awarding 50 resilient, strong women. We'll be emphasizing the enduring power of the real Grenadian woman.
Support for the observation of International Women's Day will also come from the National Adaptation Planning for Improved Food Security in Grenada Project Department. Akiza Charles, Project Coordinator, says the department will plan and execute a national private sector forum that focuses on investment for youth, women and persons with disabilities in agribusiness, agriculture and fisheries.
It will be on the 7th and 8th of March at the Radisson from 9 a.m. on the first day to 2 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on the second day. So we are looking to focus on discussing issues surrounding financing for these persons within the sector. We are looking to expose them to banking and other financial institutions that may provide support in their financing options. We especially want the women to partake as we're looking to gather information to develop a concept note for Grenada in terms of focusing or aiding financing for women, youth, persons with disabilities, and other persons in the business and agricultural sectors.
Akel John, Gender Development Program Officer at the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs, also spoke of how his unit will collaborate to highlight women.
What we of the Ministry of Social Development envision for our young girls and ladies by extension is that we want to make them inclusive, that they are able to benefit over several sectors and able to really take charge of their future and their goals through personal development. There are different sectors in which women is the minority, and if they're put in said sector, they would do very well. And so we want to encourage that as well as entrepreneurship. There's many avenues if you're looking from a top down in terms of the larger countries, and we take a little inspiration from them, such as England, the USA, America, that we could then incorporate some of their business avenues that they have, and it would be very successful down here. Since as Grenada is underdeveloped, there's much opportunity, and I think our women and young girls could leverage that to their advantage.
With plans to resume the exportation of root crops, the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Forestries and Marine Resources has begun the implementation of the Food Security Enhancement Program with emphasis on the establishment of 75 acres of root crops. Focus has been placed on 6 root crops targeted for germplasm development and increased production, namely tanya, yam, dasheen, cassava, sweet potato, and ginger. This is part of the Root Crop Production Program, a subcomponent of the World Bank Food Security Enhancement Program. It predicts an improvement in food security through the promotion and availability of planting material and the transfer of sustainable techniques for production. $1.2 million has been allocated for the implementation of the program. Earlier this week, farmers were engaged in a one-day training.
We were enlightened in detail this morning. I'm so happy with the information. In Grenada, we have the soil, we have the space, we have the strength to work and produce more of this root crop. We have the ability to go in a big way. We were introduced to the different dishes from the Food and Nutrition Council, how to produce these wonderful dishes from root crop, punches, juice, smoothies, cakes, and different byproducts from the root crops.
I'm pleased to be in this training where I learned a lot how to plant, the different types of potatoes, which I didn't know much about the purple one. So I get to know that we have it here, and it surprised me. Also, the areas where we could introduce more plants, more seedlings from the tanya.
We were looking forward to a session like this in CARICOM in particular, despite today's exercise. I mean, I gained a lot of knowledge, pest management and how to go about managing your crop out there in the field. And farmers in general will gain from my knowledge when I go back to CARICOM in relation to root crop production, in particular, as I said, the cassava and the sweet potato. The other root crops, the yam and the tanya and the dasheen, may not do as well in CARICOM due to our dry conditions. But the other two, we are focusing heavily on it from a ministry's perspective in the cassava and the sweet potato. So to this exercise, I gain a lot of knowledge from it, and I will go back and share with the department and farmers on a whole, so we can, in the upcoming season, we can expand on the production of, as I said before, sweet potato and cassava in particular.
This year I'm actually planning to plant more in the sweet potato, and I learn a lot. Try my best to put it into use.
The training included a theoretical session which was facilitated by Troy Augustine, agronomist at the ministry, and Thaddeus Peters, pest management officer. Finally, 32 new teachers within District 5 were on Thursday trained in the fundamentals of lesson planning. The workshop forms part of the Ministry of Education's thrust to provide continued support to the holistic development of teachers, especially those new to the profession. District 5 Education Officer Tessa McQuilkin emphasized the significance of lesson planning toward achieving engaging classroom activities and excellent results.
Lesson planning is basically the roadmap of what students need to learn and how it will be done effectively during the class time. We also know that lesson planning contributes to successful learning outcomes for students in several ways. And we cannot overemphasize that a well-designed lesson plan helps students and teachers understand goals of an instructional module and allows the teacher to translate the curriculum into learning activities. So it's of utmost importance, therefore, that teachers who are new, and I must say new to the profession, be exposed and supported, given the necessary support, right, in planning effectively to meet the needs of their students.
Overall, there are 35 new teachers in the district. McQuilkin assured that teacher training and support will be ongoing.
We are 95% there in terms of representing the new teacher category. And definitely, we are going to continue. This is just the beginning of what is to come. We are going to continue providing opportunities for growth for our teachers.
Shania David, attached to the St. Louis Girls RC, and Jensen Mitchell, teacher at the J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School, are both grateful for the guidance. They are positive about how the training can improve what they have been doing within the classroom.
Preparing before we get to the classroom to develop the confidence and being able to demonstrate to the students a great understanding of the specific topics at hand and to execute well. Also, it gives you the feedback from professionals within the industry. So we have those from the ministry and so forth present today to also look at some of the old lesson plans that we have, help us to build on it, and to overall become better teachers in the future.
When I first came in, it was a bit of a challenge to get into the newer structure, but the significance of having this type of forum, it really helps me to look at what I have done for the past, because I've been teaching for about 5 years now, and help me to adjust for the newer sort of format that they might have going forward as a teacher.
That story brought the curtains down on the Week in Review for today. Until next time, I am Rakisha St. Louis.